Okay, I need to tell you something that probably is gonna sound insane. Last Tuesday, I spent 4 hours designing an Instagram carousel for something that people are literally gonna scroll past in less than 2 seconds. And in my mind, in the past, I used to think that that meant that I was doing something wrong. Like, shouldn't I be faster at this by now? Or have some magical, effortless system that just makes it in the click of a button? But then I realized something that pressed a little button in my mind and completely changed how I approach all my creative processes as a founder and a creator. Because all the people that you see online always seem to have it figured out. Yes, given there are some people that are like, you know, exposing what it's actually like for them. And we love those people. But the ones that just show us the perfectness, posting every single day with perfect carousels, video content on their stories all the time, hopping on trends and literally posting them straight away when we're still trying to figure out how the hell they work. The problem with us as viewers is that they're not showing us the 4 hours that they spent designing that carousel, the 1 hour it took to refilm the exact same 60-second video that they're gonna post on Instagram. That's been me. And I think I've been transparent about that. And they're also probably not showing you the 7 different stages that their thumbnail has been in before they've actually selected the one that they want to choose. And they're definitely not showing you all the mental breakdowns that they're having because they feel overwhelmed and stressed with everything that they are having to put out there consistently, regularly, and have it all perfect. So this week, for myself, I'm pulling back my own curtain to show you what it's actually like for me managing all of my different creative processes, how I actually plan my content. And I talk about it a lot on Instagram and TikTok, but it's probably different than what you think. The real reason that I totally scrapped and redesigned my thumbnail process so that it's actually gonna work. And most importantly, the editing workflow that's taken me literal days to edit one video that I'm gonna post on Instagram or TikTok to having it done in an hour and a half, because I know what I'm doing for every single step, which is what we should all strive for. So to be clear, we're talking video editing workflows that actually are gonna work even if you consider yourself to be a beginner with editing. How I actually structure my week so that all my creative, lovely maker work doesn't just get crashed through with client calls and admin and emails and all that kind of stuff. Why and how I'm timing my tasks to help me get into a deeper flow state, my design process, and also the systems that I've built around everything that actually help me scale. And honestly, the biggest thing that I want you to take away from this video is that being a creative and being a founder, working a 9 to 5, being an entrepreneur, whatever you're doing, doesn't actually have to feel impossible. And you know, these two roles don't have to just constantly be fighting each other. Because honestly, that is what it's felt like for me for months. So if you've ever felt like you're genuinely drowning in all of your creative processes, or like you're the only person who takes a forever amount of time to make something look effortless, this entire video, I promise, is gonna be for you. We're going deep, we're getting real, and I'm gonna be doing all of this in real time with you. So you're gonna see a lot of my screen on this video. Oh, and stick around because at the end, I'm gonna share the Notion template that I use to basically organize everything to do with my life and my work and my content. I think those are all 3 different things, but I'm gonna give it to you just so you can use it for yourself. Sharing is caring. Let's go. Today is Wednesday, the 24th of September, and to let you know, I am already behind on the things that I said I would do YouTube-wise from last week. In my head, in my mind, I set out that I would have videos prepped at least 1 week in advance. I'll tell you what happened in a second. But things like this happen. It's Wednesday. I know roughly the structure of what I want to include in this video, so that makes it a hell of a lot easier. And it's not like I have to film every single day. I'm just filming things in real time when I'm doing them so that you can actually see and learn from it too. We learn together. So it doesn't necessarily matter that I'm behind on schedule. It makes it slightly scary because I don't want to let myself down. I've got 2 fun things that I'm going to share with you right now in this moment. Item number 1, I just hit this morning 50,000 followers on Instagram. It's crazy. I won't lie though. My Instagram growth has kind of like stunted a little bit. I think since April, I was posting my series, that was performing really, really well. But what I lacked when I was posting my series was consistency. So by the end of it, I had a 15-part video series. By the end of it, it was awful and it felt like a chore. And I think because of my inconsistency, that didn't help. The second thing I know hasn't helped, due to my lack of inconsistency with what I'm posting, when I'm posting, and how often I'm actually showing up on Instagram. There was a period over June, July, and August where mostly every single piece of content that was being posted was an ad. I was doing this 3-month partnership with Canva, which meant that each month I would have a new video that would show up as a paid partnership, and I love them. I think they're amazing videos. They're always like tutorial based, but it's still an ad, and Canva themselves run their own paid ads on those videos. I don't know enough about ads to know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's obviously great because it looks nice on your profile. My opinion though, because of how I've felt my Instagram growth has kind of stunted, yes, I'm still growing. There's no doubt about that. It's definitely slowed down compared to how I was growing at the beginning. I think it's down to the consistent ads that I was posting and the fact that those brands were then running paid ads. So I think the algorithm or Instagram or whatever is being like, she's being lazy, her account is running ads, all she's doing is posting partnerships, I'm gonna push her out to less people. Is my opinion. I could be totally wrong, and that is why I've totally reshifted my strategy, and I'm posting a lot more. I'm actually feeling really good about what I'm posting, and I had a wake-up moment after last week's video as to the kind of content that I actually want to be posting. All about video editing, because that is the thing that I'm good at and the thing that I fucking love. So that's the plan for Instagram. So yes, we're celebrating 50,000 followers. That's amazing, and I'm like, it's felt like an unreal number to kind of get to. It's for the first time, it's kind of felt like the first real big number. It's a really good start to a new beginning. Update number 2. We are going to dive into my process for thumbnail creation, because as it's Wednesday and I need to post on Sunday, I'm now starting to get into the mindset of what is my title going to be and what is my thumbnail going to be. Let's go. Let's start with overall thumbnails. Because this was a new channel, the first thing that I did before I filmed any content, before I made any plans of what I might want to speak about in the videos, I wanted to get a visual idea in my mind of what my account will actually look like. I went on Canva, I made a mood board, and I just scrolled through YouTube and I screenshot thumbnails that I really like the look of. This isn't me copying at all, because I do not condone copying in the slightest, but I think it really helps you to kind of get an understanding and see where the links are in terms of what kind of style and what kind of vibe you like. For me, a lot of like what I instantly had in my mind was a very plain background. I love paper grid effects, so it kind of looks like paper. I think that also symbolizes the fact that, like, you know, this is educational content. It works really well. And then also the fonts itself. I always go for something plain, lowercase, bold lettering. So I screenshot a couple of thumbnails, put them in a mood board, and seeing them all together made my brain feel pretty calm. And then when it came to actually coming up with ideas for YouTube and sitting down, getting the camera, filming and editing, it felt a lot easier, because I almost felt like I was already doing it in the first place, because I had an idea of what my YouTube kind of already looked like. So that was the overall step 1. Now when it comes to designing a thumbnail for a specific video, I have, firstly, some sort of theme, some sort of topic that I want to base a video around. For example, the next few weeks, I have ideas banked in my content planner of what the next few videos are going to be themed around. Last week was returning to YouTube. This week it's creative processes. Next week it's discomfort. I am not doing anything to do with the thumbnail or the title until I'm in the editing process. So once I'm midway through the editing process, it's time for me to solidify what the title is going to be. YouTube recently made an update to their platform, which I honestly think is incredible. But now, brand new update, you can test 3 different titles for the same video, which is amazing, because this gives you so much more opportunity to not feel restricted to deciding on the perfect title. I have been in before, and it can be so hard to just think of like the different ways that you could phrase a sentence. You know, what is the perfect way for a title to be so that it's actually going to hit the right people. I love it for us, and I think we should all be using it if you're not already. And now how I actually come up with the title itself is easy peasy. This is where AI comes in. I use Claude, AI tool of my choice. Personally. Step 1 is to go and gather intel. Because this was a new account, again, I kind of needed to look through and figure out the type of phrasing and how I actually want to communicate and come across through my titles. So I scroll through YouTube, any random title that I just like the phrasing of, I'm copying it and then I'm pasting it into a random Notion page. The titles don't need to have anything to do with what your video is about or like the space of the content that you're creating in. It's purely so that when you input this into AI, you can give them examples of the kind of phrasing and the kind of tone that you want to be speaking in. Then we're going to take to our AI of choice. I put in the following. I'm creating a video for the first time on YouTube on a brand new account. Pretend that you're a YouTube SEO marketing expert and give me examples of what my YouTube title should be that will guarantee searchability and click-through rate. My video is a vlog style format, but mostly I'll be checking in and speaking to the camera about my business, where I'm at, how I'm scaling, and content creation. But I don't want to say vlog. And this video, I'm theming the main topic around coming back to YouTube, starting a new platform from scratch purely to experiment and make social media fun again. My focus is output and to perfect my format/structure in 6 months' time. Here are some example titles that I like that don't relate. Now tell me what I should use. So ask AI to pretend that it's an SEO marketing expert. Give as much possible information about your video, about you, as you possibly can, and then give your AI examples of like phrasing and tonality, titles wise, that you really like. It's like a little sandwich. Yes, AI shouldn't do everything for you, but this was something that for me in the past, I can struggle to think of the perfect title, especially when you actually just had to pick one. For me, at least, minimizes options. You know, you can even change that prompt and say, given YouTube's new update, I need 3 similar but slightly different titles once you actually decide on the one that you like. And you know, you could add in random keywords that relate to the video that you're speaking about, and then you can obviously just A/B test and see which one works the best for you. Now, we're done our title, time for the thumbnail. A little bit of a preface. I will never want to have the same type of text on my title as well as my thumbnail, because you want it to be visually interesting. If it's gonna say the same thing, as a viewer, as a consumer, I'm less likely to click on it because it's just a repeat, and for me that feels lazy. There's so many ways that you can say something in a different way to try and grab someone's attention, so it almost gives you 2 chances, 2 opportunities to get someone to click on your video. So I did the exact same thing. I went into AI in the exact same chat. Now for thumbnail optimization. I don't want my thumbnail to say the same thing, but similar. What should my thumbnail say? It gave me some examples. I didn't love them because they felt too short. I said that I want something a little bit bulkier, and then it came back with this, and I loved it. It's easy, and obviously you can still tweak this, but it's a starting point. How much work it actually takes to create YouTube content. So much time, so much planning, so much filming, editing, work, time. If you can save time in anything, I will be taking it. For the design itself, easy peasy, honestly. I am doing all my designs now on Canva. Their background removal tool is so clean. I don't have to fuck around with my finger and, you know, try and make it perfect. Again, I'm about saving time. I brought back up my mood board, put that beside me, designed my thumbnail, honestly in under 5 minutes. Final element on thumbnails, which I think we probably all know, but this was something when I had my old YouTube account, I didn't have access to. Now on YouTube, you can A/B test thumbnails. So you can have up to 3 different thumbnails, and depending on the type of viewer and consumer that is scrolling, it will show the different thumbnail to different viewers. I think it's so nice that YouTube is a platform that's actually helping creators grow. That is exactly how I'm coming up with my thumbnails and my titles. And it's a process that I honestly don't dread anymore because I have a little bit of structure. We have a lot more to get through in this video, so let's get back into work mode. Hello, it is Thursday. I have 12, 1, 2, 3, about 4 hours free. And it's not really free because it's 4 hours that I should be doing deep work with. But the deep work that I need to do is plan my content. October is literally next week, and I need to have content ready to be filmed early next week, and then I'm gonna edit it next week, like the back end of next week. Already I've got a couple of videos scripted. I had one from last month that I didn't end up filming, so I'm gonna do that one. And then I also had a random idea, which I just scripted when I was on the sofa and in bed on my phone, which is not my usual process at all, but I will walk you through that and like what kind of inspired it. I have a couple of posts, which kind of takes off a little bit of pressure, but I'm posting 2 videos per week. So that means I need to have 2, 4, 6, 8 videos, and then also carousels. I do my carousel planning separately because I actually outsource most of my carousel designs to Alana. She is amazing, and honestly this has been an investment for me that saves me so much time and also just kind of like relieves an element of creativity, because I definitely have visions in my mind of what I might want a carousel to look like or the elements that I'd want included. So I've really been enjoying just kind of like getting all my thoughts out on Notion. We have a shared document together and I'll just mind dump everything. I'll script it all out. I'll tell her exactly what I want to put on each slide, give her examples of like reference carousels that I like to maybe kind of pull inspiration from, or older ones of mine that I just kind of want to redesign. And then it's incredible because it's just out of my hands, and Alana does such a beautiful, incredible job every single time. And it's just something that I know. I'm a girl who can be inconsistent. Very easy for me to just kind of put something on the back burner and not prioritize it. Honestly, such a joy to know that like I can trust someone to definitely make something for me, to give it back, and then I'm like, cool, this is a post that I know I can put out there on days where I don't have anything, or on a week where maybe I've kind of slowed my posting down. A creative process that isn't really mine anymore for content planning. I have a content planning system. Everybody's gonna have their own system, their own routines and habits, depending on like what works better for you. So I think your homework after this, if you take any inspiration from whatever my system is, go away, answer these questions that I kind of will bring up, and just figure out what will work best for you. You might not know straight away. I've definitely kind of tailored my routine and my system over the years now. My content planning system always has 4 steps. And the first step is so simple. I bring myself back to a page that I have on Notion that I will update and come back to every now and again. This page is my foundational why, my vision, all of the goals that I'm trying to get to, of where I'm going and where Floofy Socials as a business is going. Mia, why would I go and waste my time doing that when I could spend my time better looking for inspiration or writing a script? Yeah, cool. I agree with you. That is definitely important and we will spend time doing that. But in order for you to actually get in the right headspace and be in the right mindset to actually create content aligns with your vision, will get you closer to the goals that you kind of want to set out for yourself. Also reminding yourself of the people that you're speaking to every single time that you are posting a video. That is the most essential part. It's very easy to kind of get swept up into something that maybe you automatically fall into. It could be like a different content pillar or like style of content that you just start doing automatically. And maybe it's actually not even aligned with your audience or your community at all, but you just kind of didn't really see it. I know that's definitely happened to me, and that's happened to a lot of people that I've worked with. So by doing this, looking through all the things that you've written about, your vision, your goals, your why, and then kind of like moving forward to the end of my process, for every single video, every single carousel that I have got planned, once it's kind of ready, or at least I have a good concept for it, I'm always asking myself, why would someone watch this and what are they actually going to get out of it? So if a video isn't educational, if it's old news that people like already know so much about, if it's not aligned with the kind of person that I want to be, I shouldn't post it. An essential step 1, realign yourself with your vision, your why, and your goals. Step 2 is all about ideation. And for me, this can be an easy one. Mainly, I store all of my ideas when I'm organizing them in a Notion page. However, there definitely can be like random ideas that I don't actually keep track of. So every so often I might have random ideas in my notes app, or they could even just be screenshots in my camera roll. So I have a little scan through those 2 places. And then the second part for step 2 is where I'll do a little bit of a mind dump on my priorities for the month. I'll give you an example. September for me was coming back after my month-long break, you know, mostly off social media, off client work totally. So I had a lot of time to prep what was going to happen in September. But because I knew that I was a little bit quieter in August, I really wanted to just get content out there that I knew worked. So to figure out what I wanted to post, I was purely just looking through my socials and seeing if there was ways that I could kind of repackage content that has performed well for me in the past. Then obviously, now that I'm going to be sitting down to plan what I'm going to do in October, I need to think of what are my priorities for the month. Do I have anything coming up in the month of October that I kind of want to filter into the content that I'm putting out there? Is there anything specific that keeps coming up in messages, comments, you know, replies to stories that people really want to see or have answers to? And is there just anything on the top of my mind that I'm like, I need to kind of let let my creative juices out and create something new and fun, because I think that is something that we should all be doing a lot more anyway. We got step 1 and step 2. Step 3 is where you could bring in content pillars or content themes. I don't really assign myself content pillars or themes anymore, because right now my focus is output, and because I know that I do my planning for the month once a month, it doesn't feel too complicated for me to have lots of different, I guess, concepts of videos, because generally my pillars or my themes, they don't really change too much. And also because I had a little bit of a wake-up call, which I said earlier in the video, I know that the kind of content that I want to be putting out a lot more of is video editing, tutorials, everything about like video creation itself. So that squeezes down my possibilities of like the kind of videos that I could be putting out there anyway. I find that I don't always have a theme or content pillars to go off. And most of the time, if I do, it's in times where I feel like I need a little bit of structure and organization because I feel overwhelmed and busy. And everybody works differently. Some could hate this idea. Others could feel like they absolutely need it to know this is like what I'm strictly doing on week 1 and week 2 and week 3 and week 4. And then final step 4 is where everything comes together. So I still use Notion. I use Notion for absolutely everything. For clarity, I use 2 screens when I'm working. I will open up a Notion page on both my monitor and my laptop. On the left, I'm going to have my content planning table so that I can see what's actually going to happen throughout the month. On the right is going to be the page where I have all of my ideas, and it's super simple. I just look through my ideas page, see what stands out the most to me, and then I super simply just go ahead, copy and paste, or just type them into the content planning page. So then once I have the concepts for, let's say, 8 videos mapped out throughout the month of October, then the final essential step for me is actually to fully plan these videos out. Could not do a video, for short form at least, if it's not fully scripted word by word. This is a process that I figured out over time works best for me. It doesn't work best for everybody. So my process for scripting, I use it purely like I'm journaling or mind dumping, brain dumping my thoughts onto a page. And that also comes back to being so comfortable about what you're talking about. So make sure whatever content you are actually putting out there in the world, you're interested in, and you feel like you can provide some sort of value or, you know, knowledge to the world with what you're sharing. Always start with my hook. The hook isn't as important as everybody thinks it is, but for me in the writing process, it's literally just my starting point. So you could write down a couple of different versions here, and you can always come back and tweak them at the end. But having a starting point and intro sentence really helps you get into the mindset when you actually want to just kind of like get into flow state, because at the end of the day, you want your content to sound and feel like you. So this is why I find the brain dumping, kind of mind dumping onto the keyboard process the absolute best for me. So you're kind of doing an explanation, then I go into like my thoughts on it, a routine around it. So I'm always rounding off whatever the hook was by the end of it. And yeah, I mentioned that hooks aren't as important as everybody obsesses about them to be. The most important thing with a script is that you retain momentum the entire way through. The 2 favorite words that I always have to think about when I'm thinking about scripts and video structure: momentum and value. If you feel like your script doesn't have that, there's literally no point in posting it. And the final thing that you could add into step 4 if you feel like it's necessary is a shot list or mood boards. If you're creating videos that feel quite intense or a lot, let's imagine that you want to make a video that looks quite cinematic, or you know, it's like following a story, or it could be a vlog. To make sure that you're actually making the most out of your filming day, to at least write down some things that you definitely want to get shots of, so that when you get to the editing process, you're not sitting there and being like, fuck, I should have filmed so much more, or I should have got this shot. How did I not do that? It's literally just going to be like a little checkbox list of things that you can bring up when you're filming and just check off as you go. So that is my system. The system changes over and over again, as it should. Last final point on content planning, for me it takes so much energy. I need to actually have like time dedicated where like I'm not speaking to anyone, I'm fully in the zone, I know that there isn't anything else coming up in that day, so that like I can actually fully lock in, because it takes hours. Like for me it is like genuinely a full day to commit to scripting 8 videos, which is a lot. And you know, if you're also juggling a 9 to 5 or you have a family, like it's definitely, it's not easy. My favorite meme, I'm gonna put it on the screen right now. Maybe it's not a meme, it's just a cute photo. It's not meant to be easy. Whether that means that you have to dedicate an evening or a weekend day, then so be it, if you really want to make it happen. Any questions? Oh my goodness, please put them in the comments. I would love to dive into it more. And also, if you have a different kind of system, like what I said, everybody has a different routine depending on like what works for them. If you have one, if you don't have one, oh my god, also tell me, because if that's working for you and you don't have a planning routine, give us your secrets. My lips are dry. My skin feels awful. And in this video, I said that I was going to share all of my creative processes for filming and editing and blah, 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 blah. But the most important thing that I did say that I would share on this channel is the realness. And I think because I had actually totally overstructured this video, it's stopped me from picking it up and actually doing those things, or at least showing you those things. And this is the very fun and exciting part, that I'm showing you everything that's going on in my brain. I'm struggling to create content, at least so far on YouTube, in a very real and chill way. Speak out all my thoughts whilst also delivering things in like a very educational, you know, step-by-step process. So I'm hoping that within this video there will still be some takeaways. What I've been doing. What have I been doing? It's Friday, 26th of September. I started filming this on Monday, and I have been editing some clips as I go. And as I was editing the clips, I think it was maybe about thumbnail creation or like my thumbnail process, I was like, this feels confusing to me. So I think that's just put a little bit of a stop in it. I've consumed a lot of incredible, productive, helpful long form content this week. One video by Alice Benham on auditing your business. It was either, I've watched her last two podcasts. It was like auditing your business, or how she has like a successful Q4. Yes, that was the one. One of the things that she taught or mentioned was the thing that you should prioritize in Q4, and to not prioritize like a billion things. So as I was listening to it, I knew that the one element that I definitely want to prioritize in my Q4 is create. Launching it, technically I'm relaunching it. My 3-month group mastermind sounds funny, but it literally is, because it's so much more than a course. I think the word course for me in the past, like when I've said it, it has felt a little bit icky. A mastermind is the only and the best way that I can describe it. I have spent so much time this week planning, preparing all of the material. What that consisted of, I've got 12 self-paced lessons. I'm basically going to pre-record those, but I wanted to have structure to it because of the way that I know that I am. So if I don't actually prepare those ahead of time, I'm going to totally go off the bandwagon and not have any value in them whatsoever. So I've roughly scripted the lessons. I've also scripted some pre-lessons, basically like house rules, what to expect, just so that when it launches on Monday and people sign up, they instantly have access to those 3 videos to kind of like get themselves organized ahead of time, which I think is really cool. So yeah, doors open for that on Monday, which is exciting. So, I mean, I doubt anyone is watching this video, but if you are and you might want to join, come and join. It's going to be amazing. We start in the end of October. This will be my 3rd time running it. So Create 3.0. And each time it's gotten so much better. The first time I had no idea what I was doing. This time I feel so excited and so confident about it, because I've kind of figured out the way that I like to teach. I've also figured out like the best way for students to actually like take information in. And I know that having live calls for 90 minutes spouting random information at a random time that might not suit you is the worst way to learn. For me at least, I need to be in a space where I'm like on a walk, or I'm just having a random moment where I feel like I want to learn. And for me, the best ways that I learn is like consuming YouTube, consuming podcasts, and really locking in. And I like to take my own notes like in that time as well. I know that if I was to join a random course or mastermind, workshop, masterclass, whatever, I feel that I just may not be in the best headspace, because I'm someone that just gets very overstimulated and very overwhelmed. So I've kind of redesigned it like selfishly for myself, but also for others, because I really, really, really want this round to be about action and people actually doing things. I've loved it in the past, but I think I can be quite soft with my approach. There's nothing wrong with that, because I think everybody has to do things at their own pace. That is 100% still something that I will always preach. It's still very easy to have all this information given to you, you know, laid out beautifully in presentations and courses and whatnot, but have all that and still not do anything with it. You know, it's just tough. It like content creation is tough, and that's something I'll always talk about. But what it is listen, the thing that, you know, the thing that will make you good at it is actually doing things, doing something every single day and trying. That's how you'll grow. Obviously there's a lot more to that, but anyway, that launches on Monday. So I've been doing so much. I have been scripting all my classes, writing newsletters and like emails that I've scheduled. So I just wrote a newsletter that I randomly sent out today because I was like, well, we launch in 3 days, I better make everybody aware in case no one knows. I also filmed a video earlier that I wanted to post on my story, so I had to just edit the clips down of that because that video was 6 minutes long and I knew that I could not keep all the mistakes and all the breaks in the video, and that was literally just a video that I put up for my story. So yeah, you may see this and think, wow, she has it all together. Like, this seems so easy for her. No. Talking to the camera, especially for something that like I have to be concise with, is impossible. So I edited that, I posted that on my story. I also randomly posted it on TikTok because I just said, fuck it, why the hell not? Like, it definitely should not be a TikTok video. It is not in the structure of a TikTok video. But I just said fuck it because I literally just, I don't care about TikTok at all. So I posted that, and I also posted a carousel that my amazing, beautiful designer Alana designed for me, which is this one, and I'll let you swipe through the pages as I'm talking about it. Anyway, I was trying to make a carousel this week because I had already given Alana all of my all of my planned carousels for this month. So I was like, cool, I will sit down and I will spend time making my own carousel. And I think because I was so out of the loop with making carousels, I obviously didn't have any plan because I had opened Canva and I was like, right, I'll just design it from scratch. Like, I'll get photos and I'll figure out what I'm gonna say. And I genuinely think I sat down for 4 hours adding these random photos, putting text on, changing the text around, adding images, and then also going into Claude, like the AI tool that I use, and like trying to formulate the things that I was trying to say in better ways. And then I think like it was 4 hours total, but I was like coming back and I was making tea and I was sitting back down and I'm just like absolutely not in flow state. The thing that I learned from that, for any carousels that I know that I want to make for myself, the simplest thing that I can do is make them fucking simple. And that isn't that hard to say. I think, to be honest, on TikTok, simple carousels perform better anyway. But yeah, I think simplicity, when you don't have time and it's meaning that, you know, you're sacrificing other things that you could be spending time doing, don't waste your time. I'm gonna go back into that carousel tomorrow and I'm gonna just get random photos, plain simple, 2 sentences on each one. That is it. Another video that I have to shout out that I watched yesterday. It wasn't a video, it was a podcast. I watched it on YouTube though. Open Residency. Nana, I mentioned in last week's video. She's our client. This is her partner, her boyfriend. I've listened to a couple of episodes so far, but yesterday he did an episode with RPN. I follow him on Instagram, love his content, and the entire episode was fascinating, very enlightening. They talked about AI a lot. I don't know, for me, like it's just useful and like helpful as a creator and as a business owner, as someone who is like scaling something, to just like see other people's perspectives. This is useful. Maybe you do this already, but because of the content that I'm consuming, like say Alice's video, Mark's podcast, a lot of us can get into the habit of like watching a lot of content, a lot of educational, long form content, even short form content. You're watching it and then you just go to the next video and you forget about it, obviously, because like our brains aren't designed to just retain all this information. That's not normal. So I have a page on my notes app that I literally will exit out of YouTube, and if something really stands out to me that I know that I need to remember, and I'm gonna write that down in my notes. And I'm finding the more often that I'm doing this, I'll show you, like I'll put it on the screen what it looks like. The more often I'm doing this, the more things I'm actually remembering and then regurgitating. So yeah, lots of things are making an impact on me, which is exciting. And I am very excited to start making a very big impact on all of my creators who join Create 3.0. Feeling good, it's a Friday. I feel like I just genuinely had to ramble to you guys because I'm not gonna get much further with this video. There is no chance in giving you any step-by-step frameworks. Tomorrow though, I am gonna be filming. I need to film because I need to get one video out on Monday for launch day. So tomorrow I wanna film, let's give ourselves a goal. And I'll show it on screen as well, just so you can actually see. Scripted 10 videos, which is really good going for me. If I could film 4 videos tomorrow, I think that'd be really good going. I have 16 pieces of content. This is excluding carousels. 16 video pieces of content that I want to post in October. And to me, that feels very exciting because I love a new month. I love the idea of having all this content planned and knowing that it will be bulked and prepared and edited and ready to post. In best case scenario, I normally would have been better prepared at this stage of the month of September going into a new month, but it's not the end of the world. So I am gonna try and film 4 videos tomorrow. So yeah, all very exciting. Lots of things that I can't wait to share with you guys. YouTube is still a project that I am genuinely joyous about, and I can't wait to do it every week. I'm gonna go make a tea. Hey, you may notice that the space looks different, and that's because I have moved everything around. Basically just the opposite way. Not because for no reason, but because all of my main videos, I'll put them on the screen so that you can see. All of these videos that I first started filming when we moved into this house, I filmed in this direction. I'm kind of a bit of a skeptic. I'm just kind of I want to film some videos. I definitely would love if they obviously did well because of the slightly different direction I'm going. So I kind of want them to feel familiar when people are watching them. Just to keep my own brain sane, I've just put the table over here and then the camera back there, and hopefully it looks the same as what it normally does. Although today is actually super gloomy, so that's definitely not fun when filming, but I don't think it's the end of the world. I thought that this would be fun to share with you because I'm actually about to conduct a new test. I was gonna film, and I've got, like what I said, I'll aim to film 4 videos in this normal setup, but I have my scripts already ready. Earlier this year on my stories, I was saying that I care less about TikTok. It's not a platform that I'm really prioritizing. I'm still posting on there, but it's not the end of the world if TikTok disappears from me. I do also think that content that is so much more well produced in terms of fancy camera, a lot of work in editing, done in a different editing tool, I just don't think that works very well on TikTok anymore. I definitely think it worked for a while because at least I was really growing, but it's just really stagnated, and I think that's the same for a lot of other creators who do really well on Instagram but maybe less so on TikTok. So my test is that I already have the scripts. I now have the connector where I can connect my mic to my phone, and I'm going to record the same script on my phone first and just use that as a practice run, because I'm hoping by the time I then sit down on the table, film the real video, I'm not going to have anywhere near as many mistakes. So let's see how this goes. Although my DJI is on my tripod. Yeah, I was just going to say, I think I'm going to film on my front camera. Wrong, I'm not. If I film on my front camera, I'm going to continue looking at myself and it's going to distract me, and I'm just going to be looking at my appearance and how I'm saying words. So I'm just going to do back camera. I'm going to need to swap you out of that tripod. I'll be back in 5 minutes. And then what we do, I got this tripod on Amazon 2 years ago. It was €20. You can change it between cameras and phones so quickly. I just screw this off, and put this on, screw it back in, and now plug her in. Oh my god! The phone setup. Let's see how it looks. I mean, I'm kind of tempted, will I just do, maybe I just do front camera. Let's try front camera as a test first, and then I'll try the back camera, because the more practice that I get putting the speech out is never gonna hurt. So this is also a sign for you. Not a bad thing to practice. Not a bad thing at all. I'm actually slightly tempted to want to get the new iPhone now, purely because I saw that you can have wide angle on the front video camera, which I think would be really cool. I think I look gorgeous, so that's good news. I think this is kind of fun, honestly. I'm actually really excited to film on my phone for TikTok because we should just be experimenting. Okay. I think a lot of us have unrealistic expectations when it comes to creating content on social media. Week 1, you're gonna make every excuse under the sun to actually avoid executing your plan. I know, I'm sorry. I actually thought that went so well, and I'm just gonna turn this around just so you can actually see. I think it looks really good. So I think while I'm here, I'm gonna film a couple of the other scripts. That was actually such a nice feeling, knowing that I can do it. We can all do it. Go and film that video. Heartbreak. I've just experienced actual heartbreak. I don't think the microphone was working on my phone. Problem solved. I didn't have to refilm it. the sound work. But problem, this came up on my screen when I started filming the third video. So I've decided, I've got 2 videos done on my phone now. So I'm gonna go to the camera, get those 2 videos done, and then that's 4, technically that's 4 videos. But I wanna do more camera videos because I think it's gonna be a lot easier for me to just jump on my phone and film things when I can. Whereas my camera setup, boy oh boy, boy oh boy, does my camera setup feel like the hardest thing in the world, even though it's honestly, it's not. Best one video. This is the point where I then go over to the camera and I have to look at it to see if it was out of focus or if I was central and if the audio was working. So 3 things, and a lot of the time I can fuck up. Like, it's totally out of focus. I'm skewed to the left and then I have to refilm it. And because I'm by myself right now and I'm filming, there's no other way around this. It's hard work and it takes time and it's dedication. So if I really want to do this, I just know that I have to do this. So press play. I'll forward it a little bit. Oh, fuck. Okay, in my opinion, I'm a little bit skewed to the left. It's actually really bright considering I'm filming in quite a dark room. I'll show you on the screen. I'll show you what the raw footage looks like. I think I'm gonna go with this because I don't really want to refilm it because I think everything else looks pretty good. Although my double chin doesn't look the best. Oh, no, I think I'm gonna go with this. It's a little bit off center, but fuck it. This video needs to go out on Monday. Also needs to be charged, my DJI. Let's plug her in. I'm also starting to get really hungry right now. So I'm starting to doubt whether I'm gonna film all 4 videos that I really want to, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see. I'm definitely in a good headspace. What I have to do after I film on my camera, I've got a Sony a7 IV, I think. This one, I'll put it on the screen. I have that. I got it in a camera shop here, and ever since we've had it, it overheats a lot. And I brought it back to the shop. They were super unhelpful and just said that it's a known Sony issue. So perfect. So what I have to do after every single time that I film, I just have to turn the camera off and just wait for it to cool down. And another example of literally just having to push through the pain, I have spent so many times filming and I'm in a really good flow in the middle of a video and the camera overheats and just shuts off, which is so frustrating because a lot of the time, like, maybe the light might change. So then it just means I'll have to film the video over again from the start. And filming videos on my camera, I don't know how long that video was. I'll let you know on the screen. But generally it takes me so long, so much longer to film because I'm kind of like, am I sat right? Repeating things a lot more. I think repeating things more so because I definitely can't see myself. And I'm like, did I make a weird face? Does my mouth look weird? Like, am I using my, you know when you feel like you're not using your lips or your mouth properly? Okay, I'm so much more central in this one, which is a relief. I was playing with my hair a lot, but that's 2 videos done and I am drained. I cannot even express how tired I am. It's so much hard work having to repeat sentences over and over again. Like, I don't make it easy for myself, but I love creating content and I love doing it for the greater purpose of helping you guys create better content. So I'm not stopping. It's just not easy. Not at all. I'm actually quite excited to sit down and edit together these clips that I filmed yesterday and today for YouTube. I think like just the start of this week when I was trying to get into the flow of YouTube, I just couldn't because it was just feeling way too structured. So I just know my flow needs to be chill and calm. And I'm so excited to just kind of like develop this over time, which is the most exciting thing. Yeah, so I need to edit this YouTube video, get it scheduled, make my thumbnail, and I need to edit the video that I'm gonna post on Monday for launch day for Create. Crazy. When you watch this video, we'll nearly be launched. It's gotten to the point in the day where I feel and I look haggard. My mascara is run under my eyes. And I've only just realized at the beautiful time of 8:43 p.m. on a Saturday night that I haven't left the house today. Yeah, it's been the gloomiest, rainiest day. It's so raining, it's so windy. It's basically a storm. So I think it makes total sense why I haven't left the house. I woke up, I had stomach cramps, and I intentionally wanted to just stay on the sofa and watch Hocus Pocus because every single morning I have been getting up this week, putting on makeup, getting myself ready, and like having a work day. So I think it was just kind of nice for Joe to do the dog walk and go out and I can just kind of not do anything. So that then spiraled into me filming and spending hours filming and then buckling down to edit and also watch some TV and chill at the same time. So yeah, I have been editing for the last maybe hour and a half, maybe 2 hours actually, and I've probably got about 30-40 minutes left. I'm not doing like the most with this edit, as you probably would have seen if you're still watching the end of this video, because I don't have time. I wanted to be a week ahead, so that's totally my bad, but I don't have time to make it as best as I can. But the priority for me is actually getting something out and being consistent for a year. So whether I'm putting something that's like 5 out of 10 out, I'm kind of okay with that, which isn't normally like me. Anyway, my situation right now, I've got my favorite kombucha. It's not wine, it's kombucha. I've also got some cinema popcorn that I will be munching my way through. I'm going to lock in and continue editing this video. But I must say, this is going to be the end. This is the end of this week's video. Second video, feeling amazing, still loving this. Please let me know your thoughts. If you have any ideas, questions, remarks, put them in the comments. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Tell your friends. You don't have to tell your friends. So much love, and I will see you here next Sunday morning. Have an amazing week.